participation in that and your responsibility to that is creating the policy to match that. And I'm trying to get some samples right now from schools around the state. In fact, I have been emailing and leaving voice messages. You know, it's springtime. A lot of districts are on spring break. I have found a few, but not necessarily standards-based specific. I contacted, I believe it was Knox today, and their district is doing standards-based grading, and I've left him a voicemail as well as a voice message as well as an email, and hoping to hear back from him so I can get a look at their policy.
All right, like a grade, say with the score of a B in third grade in language arts at Eden Elementary, it's going to be the same thing as a B at Warfield.
Absolutely, that's our goal.
So if you looked at the same students, you know, you would know that they're at that level.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And of course, that's going to take
training,
communication, and making sure that we all understand what we're doing.
Okay. It's going to be hard to come up with policy to. It's going to be hard to come up with policy to do that.
Nobody said this job's going to be easy.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that. I mean,
one of the things that I just want to kind of touch on standard-based grading is one of the things we've been moving to in high school. Probably the best way to talk about standard-based grading, if your kid's in elementary school and they come home with C in social studies, what does that mean? You don't know.
Yeah,
okay, he's got 70% of it completed. What your goal is, these are the standards. These are the things. Should he learn his multiplication table? Should he learn his or her how to read fluently up to a certain grade level? Should, in high school, can they do quadratic functions? Instead of just getting an A in Algebra 2, you look more at the standard and say, this is what they know, this is what they don't know, and how are we going to get into that master test.
okay.
Can you put that on Infinite?
Yes. Yes. Actually.
That would be really nice.
And one addition to that about the standards-based grading, we also have contacted UK, Dr. Gusky and Dr. Swan, who are leading an initiative across the state with this. And we've had a teleconference with them, and all the administrators from the district participated in that. So we're really excited about it. I think it's, most districts start from the bottom up, and we've had the unique experience of starting at the top and working our way down. So we're excited about it. I think that we'll have some good things from that. And I move around. Standard 4, resources and support systems. Again, there are a few things highlighted there. Mostly there, like all of the funds that Tammy went over, some of them are restricted to certain things, but nevertheless, all of our funding should be supporting that vision and mission and what we believe in for our students. Let's see, right through those. Continuous improvement, and that is just exactly what it says. Again, kind of rehashing some of this. Are we looking at that district improvement plan? Does everyone know what's in the district improvement plan? Are we monitoring it regularly? Are we revising it as needed? So, after you get through most of that big document, then the state has made the improvement priorities for us. And so, out of all of those bullets that were listed, then they went through and said, okay, if you take care of these, then these in priority in order, then we're going to be addressing the most needed areas. First of all, 1.1. And that is basically our mission and our vision, which I keep mentioning before. Do you believe in the mission? Do you buy into the mission? If you do, then how does that show? In your hiring processes, in your spending processes, holding everyone accountable, from the janitor to the bus driver to the teacher principal. 1.2, the communication policy. We need to look at the communication policy again. Are we, again, holding those high expectations? Do they know what those expectations are? Complete transparency. And then, of course, Anne referred to this before, these are the leadership deficiencies from 2 years ago. And it was quite an undertaking because, as she said, we had the old leadership assessment that was based on the Kentucky Standards and Indicators of School Improvement. Then when they came back in February, it was with the international standards, which was a much rigorous step. So anyway, the deficiencies from 2 years ago, there were 5 of them, and we just screenshotted one there. But basically, the Consolidated Improvement Plan, data analysis, organizational structure, those processes and systems, like you mentioned for the liaison in different positions, communication, and culture. Those were the 5 deficiencies, and the one that had the most improvement was the data analysis, complementing the data rooms that we have set up in the district. So that is it in a really, really rough nutshell. I know you probably have a lot of questions, and again, we mentioned work sessions for the budget. We can do work sessions for the assessment, for getting our plan down for what you want to do first and how you want to do it, setting calendars and those kind of things. I do have one other thing that I want to present that goes along with it, and that is the letter that came from the commissioner. And you have, as a board, within 30 days of the commissioner's action of on the audit team's recommendations, the local board of education may appeal the commissioner's actions. And so just at this time, I just need to know if that is something that you are interested in, because time is running out. We have 30 days from March 18th if you are interested in appealing the commissioner's decision. And Ann and I will draft that letter for you if you so choose.
Do you think there's a basis for it, Lisa, or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, since there are no punitive damages, we look at it. I mean, there are some things we definitely don't agree with, but is it worth going through all of that again and being scrutinized again? That will be entirely up to you all, and we will do whatever you want. We have a plan that has been laid before us, and I'm just at your will, whichever you
So
so choose.
a lot of it you say is just minor things, right? It's like with the red zone, it's just, which is, I hear is very effective, and the thing, which we talked about documentation.
Right.
I found out if you don't document it, it didn't happen. So
Right.
that was something that they said you just need to document things, talk about,
Right, and we have copies of
involvement
those.
and collaboration with our board, between the board, civic leaders, and business leaders, which I know we do, actually, but it's not documented, so therefore.
Right, and are we having those focus conversations, though? Not just showing up and talking about the weather, but are we talking about student achievement and what's going on in our district?
Probably the lowest rating we probably got for communication, is that correct? Which I read the state audit,
Yes.
it's almost non-existent between the high school and us. So
You're good to know. We're working on that.
And that's part of the system of getting better, getting marking
Well, that's what
out
we-
better for the kids.
That's what we have to strive for.
That's why, I mean, I'm willing to come, I've got other districts that I go to, we talk about
That
how
sounds
to
great. That sounds
communicate, what do you all as board members need to know from your schools?
You
What
need
is
to
the
tell, I want you to
data
tell
that?
me what I need to know. So I can work with the kids.
Right.
So, yes,
Right.
so that we can get better, because the reason why we are all here is because of you and having what's best for them. That's our goal on this end. We don't want to come in and take over. We just want to help communicate so that you all have a better idea of what needs to happen so that we can all move forward.
Well, I'm
See,
good.
that's my point right there. I said, I just think they should take the, look at it and move forward. It's time to move forward.
Well, one of the things that I was impressed with when, Mr. Fletcher had a non-mandatory meeting to discuss, you're thinking, the minds, if it's a non-mandatory meeting, ain't nobody gonna be there. And I stopped at, after school and looked, and there were quite a bit of teachers who had attended, the meeting up there. And they were very, very, very concerned with, their report. Of course, they were deemed capable of managing the intervention. There were some things that, they discussed that at least shows that the teachers there take their roles, very seriously. So, as a board member, I want to give them all the support. I want to make sure how to do that, how to, for example, come up with a board policy that makes sure that grading system is uniform across the district, which is, I could see that maybe in elementary school for certain core subjects, but not, in certain areas, not in, if you guide us through it, show us how to do it, that'd be great.
I have a question as a parent. I have a preschool child
I have a third grade child and a sixth grade child, and they're in high school this year, praise the Lord. But anyway,